What's going on? Public channel right here. Free Lake Fork rundown every week, twice a week. And all I gotta say is if you've been following the last weekend with the BASS Elite Anglers right here on the world famous Lake Fork, what do you have to say now? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. To all those people that jumped ship with one sour season, I don't even know what to say. I want to laugh so hard. I told you that the last year was really tough, but the bass didn't go downstream. They didn't go through the dam. They didn't die. They were there. It just was an off season. And here we have the top 10 elites all break the 100-pound range, 100-pound century belt. And one of them, 10th place, didn't even finish the limits. He had over 100 pounds with 17 fish. 2 of his days, he did not finish a limit. Truly incredible, the winner with 130 pounds. 130 pounds for 20 fish. Unbelievable. Trey McKinney, congratulations. A 19-year-old, record-setting, instant fame for the young man. But it all happens right here on the Goat Lake. Remember that. Capital G, capital O, capital A, capital T. And bass, you guys need to take a look. You took Lake Fork off of the top 10 bass lakes in the U.S. And Lake Fork just was just kind of looking at you saying, what about me, guys? What about me? You should never take Lake Fork out of the top 10 in the U.S. Unbelievable. I'm Mike McFarland. Welcome to the corner. This is my studio here, McFarland Fishing and the Lake Fork Guide. Before we get into a little bit more details about what happened over the weekend and some fishing reports for you guys, I want to give a big shout out to my headline sponsors, Texas Insider Fishing Report, which is on TV here very soon. We start back filming the end of this month, and there'll be live television shows every week. Well, they're filmed live, but they're aired a few days later. No editing or anything like that. It's a live film show. There's 6 guides. We all give the reports from the lower fresh, mid fresh, upper fresh Texas, and the same thing with the coastal. But that starts up in April, so be looking for that. J. Hodge Chevrolet, right out of Sulphur Springs. Actually, they're in Oklahoma. They're in Arkansas. J. Hodge is a really nice young man. I met him. I'm really impressed. Just a little while ago, I actually have a great relationship with the general manager. But J. Hodge Chevrolet, highly recommend. If you're looking to purchase a new vehicle or you're looking for just service and maintenance, Sulphur Springs, tell them McFarland sent you. Let's talk fishing, right? The lake. Over the last 2 weeks, the lake's been the most stable that I've seen it be in a long time. I don't know if SRA did that on purpose for the event coming, because stable makes for better fishing. But the lake is stable. 40270, 40274. We got rain in the middle of the night last night. We've been hovering at the 40275, 3 inches below full pool. We've been hovering that for about 3 weeks. Something like that. We went over pool and they dumped it down. But anyways, very stable. 0 to 1 clarity. And I've got several temperatures here on the water temp. To the left, 53, 55. That's the main body, the core, the volume of the lake. When you get in the backwaters, if you go to the right backwaters, you can find some 62 degrees, almost 63 degree water, where fish are actually already nesting, spawning. You can sight fish if you want. Most of those places are going to be, again, warm treaded areas, north end of the lake, back to the creeks, as far as you can go, sheltered pockets, things like that. But the fish are on beds and they are spawning. With that being said, let's talk about what the elites did. That was truly amazing. So first of all, on day 1, there was 69 of the 100 elites that weighed over 20 pounds. There was 25, I think, that weighed over 30 pounds on the first day, with a 39 or 38 pound sack by Taku being the heaviest sack of the day. It took 130 pounds for 20 fish for 4 days to win, with 10 pros exceeding 100 pound total. And I think if they would have had more pros on the final day than just top 10, there would have been even more century belts given out. What I don't want to do is give you the wrong impression. And if you've already had the impression, I want to fix it, that Lake Fork's on fire. Because it's not. Number one, like I said, 10th place with over 100 pounds, did not finish the limit. 5 fish, 2 days in a row. The winner, Trey McKinney, didn't catch more than about 9 or 10 fish on any given day. Some of them just got 6 or 7 fish for the full day. They're big fish. Lake Fork is the GOAT lake because of how fast it grows fish. It was the first lake that they began the Sharelunker program. It was the first lake that they put the slot limit on and have maintained the massive 16 to 24 inch you cannot possess slot limit. And it harbors the most big fish, especially 6 to 8, 9, 10 pound fish, than anywhere else in Texas. It's flooded timber, 320 miles of shoreline, 27,000 surface acres of trees in the water. It's ideal conditions to grow and keep big fish. Again, when the pros are only catching, Cooper Glant, for one day example, had 28 pounds. And you would say, wow, 28 pounds for 4 fish. 4 bites all day long. That is not awesome fishing. That is head down, gone to work, elite pro level fishing. I'm going to give you an analogy. Let's change to basketball. Michael Jordan, one of the very best basketball players in the world. He can take us basketball to the court and shoot 9 out of 10 free throws and hand us the ball. We are not going to shoot 9 out of 10 free throws. We are not at Michael Jordan's level. You should not put an expectation on any single guide out there to be at that elite level unless they're maybe retired, okay? And number one, competing one guy by yourself or taking 2 novice fishermen fishing is 2 whole different worlds. So the guides should never, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a guide, but the guides should never be compared to what the elite anglers just came and did on our lake. And I've seen some posts, dogging the guides. Ha ha, the guide said the lake is brutal rough and the pros proved him wrong. Several things. Number one, in January, that lake was frozen. The temperatures were not here at this parameter. And even Ben Milliken himself in the pre-practice caught 1 12-pound fish. And he posted on Facebook, couldn't believe he did it, but he posted on Facebook that what a shitty fishery this place is. And yet he comes back to warm trended 6, 8 weeks later, completely different weather, completely different time of year, moon coming, spawn coming, and he himself weighs over 100 pounds. I guarantee you, if you ask him today, he won't say it's a shitty fishery. No one will. No one can. How can you? So, in retrospect to some of you that prejudge or make judgments and made some of those comments, because some of you have, even on this site, there's a big difference than an elite angler, a Michael Jordan in basketball, fishing by himself with a honed professional skill. He's the best of the best and the hottest right now, versus what a guide is capable of doing with 2 average, novice, or maybe even decent fishermen. I guarantee you that Trey McKinney, the kid that just won with 130 pounds, can take an average 2 people guiding right now tomorrow to the same fish that he was catching, and he will not be able to get them to catch those fish because Trey is the artist. I believe, as Rick Clunn does, bass fishing is an art. How good you get is up to you. It is a skill. It is not luck. It's earned. And so I just wanted to make sure I made that real clear. Every year this happens when one of the big elite come here, or the MLF come here, somebody, and I'll probably lose a subscriber or 2 for saying this, but somebody with a big chap in jaws likes to go out there and dog the guides and say, the guides don't catch fish and the pros can. And there was no comparison in January and February to the end of February and March, first of all, season-wise, water temperature-wise, conditions-wise. And as I said, they're elite anglers for a reason. I'm going to be humble. If I was at the elite level, I would not be guiding. I love to take people fishing. It's a completely different atmosphere. It's a completely different job. And that's that. Okay. So, back to what the elites were doing. Again, most of it was live scope. Extremely amazing. There's a lot of talk about live scope, forward imaging, people dogging it, saying it's cheating. Well, if it's cheating and it's so easy, then how come all 100 guys have it? All 100 guys have it. Gerald Swindle has live scope forward imaging, and he's done really well with it, and he's done really poor with it. Gerald Swindle did not do very good in this tournament. Our very own Lee Livesey, one of the best guides we've ever had here, when he was guiding here, couldn't weigh 16 pounds a day, while the top 10 were wrecking 30. It's called fishing for a reason. So, the live scopers were using that live scope in a very, very incredible manner, looking over 100 feet in front of them. Ben Milliken said it himself. He said he's looking 100 and 125 feet. If he gets within 70, 50 feet, this fish leaves. Spooks the fish. Can't get that close to him. They're using spinning rods with super light line. I preach and tech all the time not to use less than 20-pound tests because of the trees and everything. The skill set was just here, phenomenal. The ones that run bank, did okay. Scott Martin said he had 25 pounds the first day running bank, looking for spawning fish. He thought that he could sustain that for a second day and could not. We had a cold front, and believe it or not, even the cold front, the pros kept catching them offshore with the forward imaging. The best thing I saw going was a jerkbait. A lot of them were working the fish with a little quarter-ounce, like darter head type deal with a fluke on it or whatnot, or swimming type build darter head. They would work with that, and when they saw big fish, they would throw the jerkbait. Also, glide baits came into the play. But it was a very unique weekend. It was a record-setting weekend being talked about all across the country because there's never been a tournament like it where top 10 anglers reached 100 pounds and got the century belt. Amazing. So, all right, guys, that's kind of what I got for you. If you are looking to fish on fork, again, they're spawning. You can catch bedfish if you're forward imaging. I just got a text right now from somebody. The backwater 65 degrees today, so you should just go looking in the backwaters and find those bedfish, and you'll have a good time. Just go fishing on fork. It's the key. Just cover a lot of grounds, find some males, and somewhere near those males you'll run into some females. If you're also coming to fork and you're not real big bass fisherman, or you want to mix it up, I'm going to give you Jackie Wiggins, this crappie guide on our lake, and I want to give you his report for what's going on. It's very similar to what the bass do, but the crappie fishing on fork has really been getting better and better each week. They're still scattered at almost all depth ranges, from 2 feet to 50 feet. It seemed like the best concentration of fish now, though, is in 12 to 13 feet in the timber along the creek channels, making their move to the spawning grounds. Both black and white crappie are on the timber. A lot of black crappie can be found very shallow, 2 feet of water, at the spawning grounds. A lot of anglers are catching them real shallow the first few hours of the day. They love to move up at night, just like bass do, and then they'll pull back for some reason during the day. Chartreuse has been the best go-to color for the fish in the shallow or more stained areas. And of course, if you're in clear water, natural colors are always good, or live minnows. Jackie also likes to tip the soft plastic baits with a minnow sometimes. I personally love to do that when they're spawning. I like to take a hair jig type, crappie hand-tied hair jig and tip it with a minnow when they're spawning. It works really well. Jackie also does a lot of catfish. He's given us a catfish report. Channel catfish bite's really good, 13 to 18 feet of water around the roosting trees in the north end of the lake. What does he mean by roosting trees? It means the trees where the cormorant birds and the white birds and all those birds roost at night. They poop a lot of undigested fish, and it just draws those catfish in there. You don't really even have to bait those, but if you'll find those roosting trees, you got to be there early in the morning to see where the trees are, see the birds in the trees, really at the crack of dawn. Find the right trees. If you bait those trees with cattle cubes or sour grain, man, the fish stay longer. They stay all day long. You can sit there and just wreck them. You can fill your limits of catfish in no time at all. So that's kind of the rundown. It's Tuesday rundown. I'll be back Thursday to give you another little more detailed rundown and some other information. Remember that if you really want the juice, if you really want the goods, and the report on about 5 or 6 other lakes, Ray Hubbard, Lake Lavon, Possum Kingdom, OH Ivy, Sam Rayburn, Athens, Tawakoni, Welsh. I give those reports in the members only channel. It's a private subscribing channel only. I would love to have you come join. Just look in the description below this video. You'll see the members link. Click on the link. Come on over. It's $5 a month. I mean, how many lures do we buy that way exceed that? It's $5 a month. And you're going to get 8 more reports that are more privatized, that are much more detailed, tell exactly what parts of the lake are fishing the best, exactly what baits, colors, techniques, etc. Again, the members only channel, real easy. Love to have you join. And I appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks for your subscription. Thanks for the private subscription publicly. Want to give a big shout out again to Jihad Chevrolet, Skeeter Bass Boats, Diamond Sports Marine, Yamaha Engines, Texas Insider Fishing Report, Florida Insider Fishing Report, with Captain Rick Murphy, world famous Miss Florida Bree, and Dave Farrell, Abu Garcia, Berkeley, Power Pole, Bass Assassin, Bajío Sunglasses, Tight Lines UV, Lake Fork Trophy Lures, Impact Lures, Sandtune Lures, Real Time Rods Magic Reaction, Lake Fork Marina, Go Fish Lures, Steve's Custom Prop Shop, The Original Rod Socks, Sign Shop, Burning Stump Lodge, Lake Fork Resort, Murphy's Law Sport Fishing out of Florida, Jamie's Restaurant in Lake Fork Marina, Oh My the Pie, Tackle Co-op, Jamie's Jacked Up Designs, and always and forever, Lucas Oil, and Protect the Harvest. Thank you for watching. I'm Mike McFarland, wishing you great fishing.